If you've been hanging around soil stories for a while, you already know I love testing strange, simple, and budget-friendly gardening tricks, especially the ones our grandmothers swore by. So when I kept seeing people online raving about using leftover pasta water or rice water to water their plants, I had only one thought. Alright, let's put this to the test. I didn't expect much. I honestly thought the results would be mild, maybe even identical, but just a few weeks into the experiment, one clear winner emerged, and trust me, the results surprised even me. What I found could change the way you water and feed your plants forever. Welcome back to Soil Stories, where we grow food, curiosity, and a little bit of magic from the soil. Let me take you through this simple yet eye-opening experiment, what actually happened beneath the soil surface, and why the winning water made such a huge difference. Before we jump into the results, let's get into why gardeners are even using these kitchen leftovers. Both pasta water and rice water come from staples many of us cook almost weekly, and both are rich in starch, a carbohydrate that microorganisms in the soil love. But the key is how that starch behaves, how your soil microbes respond, and what minerals are dissolved in the water during cooking. Here's the twist. Rice water and pasta water may both look cloudy and harmless, but they don't feed your soil the same way. And that difference changed my plants dramatically. To keep things fair, I used identical containers, the same potting mix and the same leafy green variety spinach, which is fantastic for testing because it grows fast and reacts quickly to soil conditions. I planted the seeds at the same time, kept the pots in the same spot, and ensured they received the same sunlight. The only difference? Their weekly watering routine. One group received cooled, unsalted pasta water. The second group received cooled, unsalted rice water. A third group, my control group, received plain water. I repeated the experiment twice just to make sure the results weren't a fluke. Spoiler alert, they weren't. Within the first week, the rice water spinach was already a little perkier. Nothing dramatic yet, but the leaves looked slightly more vibrant than both the pasta water group and the plain water group. The pasta water plants grew normally, but the soil in that pot developed a faint film on top. Something I wasn't expecting. That's the first hint that pasta starch behaves differently than rice starch. The microbes were definitely active, but maybe too active. This week is when I started raising my eyebrows. The rice water plants had grown about 30% faster. Their stems were thicker, and they were a deeper, healthier green. The soil smelled fresh and earthy, always a good sign that microbial life is thriving. But the pasta water group? They slowed down. The soil stayed consistently damp, almost too damp. That light film I noticed earlier turned into a slightly slimy layer. Nothing harmful yet, but definitely something I wouldn't want forming repeatedly. The plain water group grew fine, predictable, average spinach, the baseline we expected. By week 3, I didn't even need to measure. I could see the dominance. The rice water plants absolutely exploded with growth. They were fuller, taller, greener, and noticeably healthier. Their roots were strong and white, a sign of a clean, well-balanced soil environment. Meanwhile, the pasta water plants started looking stressed. The leaves developed slight yellowing around the edges. The growth slowed dramatically. When I checked the roots, they were slightly brownish at the tips. Early signs of anaerobic, or low oxygen, conditions. That slimy layer on the soil, it was feeding microbes in a way that tipped the balance from beneficial to overworked. Too much starch can actually choke the soil if it encourages the wrong microbial bloom. The plain water plants just continued growing normally. They were healthy, but not extraordinary. Let me break down why rice water performed like a champion, because this is the part that can really help you in your garden. Rice water contains a gentle mix of vitamins, minerals, and just the right amount of starch. That starch becomes food for beneficial microbes, which then break it down into nutrients your plants can easily absorb. Rice water encourages healthier root growth. Because microbes produce nutrients like amino acids and organic acids, it leads to better soil structure, since microbes create spaces for air and water movement. And you get greener leaves, thanks to micronutrients like magnesium, phosphorus, and traces of nitrogen. It's mild, balanced, and perfect for giving your plants a small but consistent nutritional boost. Pasta is made from processed wheat, and the starch it releases is far heavier and stickier than rice starch. While some microbes still love it, it breaks down more slowly and can easily become too much for a small pot or container. That slimy layer I saw, that was microbial overgrowth. The wrong kind. Andi recruited a bunsendan, ensudan sekorn. Pasta water can, create anaerobic conditions. It can cause unpleasant smells, encourage fungal films, alter the soil pH, and even trigger yellowing in leaves due to root stress. Now, pasta water could work better in open ground where the soil population is much larger and more active, but for containers, raised beds, and indoor plants, it's too risky. After multiple trials, side-by-side comparisons, and detailed observation, here's the truth. Rice water is absolutely the winner, by a landslide. Not a small difference, not a bit better. It outperformed both pasta water and plain water in speed, vigor, color, and root development. It's easy to make, safe for most plants, and perfect for gardeners at any level, whether you're tending a kitchen windowsill, balcony containers, or an outdoor garden bed. If you want to try this yourself, and honestly, I highly recommend you do, here's what worked beautifully for me. Use unsalted rice water only. Salt will damage your plants, so definitely skip it. Allow the water to cool completely before applying. Use it once or twice a week, not daily. And, store any leftover rice water for no more than 48 hours in the fridge. You should see results within 7 to 10 days, especially on leafy greens and houseplants. I've tried rice water on spinach, kale, sucuma, wiki tomatoes, chilies, basil, and indoor pothos, and honestly, the results were consistently positive. Leafy greens love it, herbs love it, most fruiting plants appreciate it too, especially during the early growth stage. The only plants I'd avoid using it on are succulents and cacti, which really prefer dry, low-nutrient conditions. I didn't expect the difference to be so dramatic. Honestly, I thought both pasta water and rice water would act like mild fertilizers, maybe with slightly different strengths, but wow, seeing rice water boost growth so consistently, while pasta water actually held plants back, really opened my eyes. It reminded me of a simple truth. Sometimes the most powerful gardening tools are the ones already sitting in our kitchens. This experiment didn't just give me healthier spinach, it also gave me a new, dependable, eco-friendly fertilizer I can make anytime without spending a shilling. And now you can too. If you enjoyed this experiment and want more real, honest, and surprising gardening tips, don't forget to subscribe to Soil Stories, hit that like button, and share this with another gardener who loves growing things as much as we do. Your support helps this community grow, just like rice water helped my spinach. Let's keep learning, testing, and growing together.